Ladies and gentlemen, you've seen nationalist candidates win all over the world. You've seen globalism in major retreat, which is unelected authoritarian government in retreat. And now you've seen Saudi Arabia, set up by British intelligence, controlled by the U.S. since the 70s, say no to Wahhabism, no to radical Islam, no to the Arab Spring. And you've seen the top princes that called for Trump to be thrown from office, who called for Trump to be arrested, well, they've died in helicopter explosions or been shot at their homes or are now in house arrest. And I'm not endorsing any of that. But if you live by the sword, you die by the sword. And you've had the Clintons and the Bushes and the trillions in Saudi Arabian money for decades making deals for the Arab Spring in Europe, you name it. And Trump has come out and said, you can have your own countries, have your own culture. But Islam's not taking over the West. And you're not going to sit there and leverage out and take control of our governments. If you want to invest in the stock market, be part of the free market, you can. But if you think you're going to overthrow our country or overthrow Europe, you're wrong. And the King of Saudi Arabia instantly responded because they've learned from our sources, and it's now in the news. We told you this 2 days ago when it first broke with Roger Stone, that elements of the Saudi Arabian government had allied themselves with Iran and the globalists and others. So here are the latest tweets. Here's President Trump from Japan and going to South Korea. Some of those they are harshly treating have been milking their country for years. I have great confidence in King Salman and the Crown Prince of Saudi Arabia. They know exactly what they're doing. So that's all going on. That's all unfolding. But you don't think he went to Saudi Arabia first as his first foreign trip 6-7 months ago was a game, and the whole orb and the media making the joke. He understands that the globalists set up Saudi Arabia, then have used that wealth against the wealth of the West. No more are we going to set up countries and have them work against us. It's about nations all working together for the greater good and greater prosperity. And that's why you see the stock market exploding and all this exuberance, because under Obama and the Clintons and others, they want austerity. They want to pick and choose the winners and losers. But the world is hungry for a level playing field and being reasonable. And so far, that's what Trump's been delivering. And that's why the globalists, the special interests, are so upset. If you look at what's happened to Saudi Arabia, and if you look at the interests there that have been taking control of the country and selling it out as well as the U.S., they've all been very belligerent, very arrogant, and very anti-American. So if you look at who has been arrested in their authoritarian system, it's been people that are challenging Trump. You now see Russiagate and the Podestas getting caught in Uranium One. You now see everything that Trump got accused of, they've done. And then desperation, we said a video earlier where Congress is calling for InfoWars to be shut down because they want you to be shut down. They don't want a vocal point. They don't want to point for people to rally. They just want to fund shooters to attack churches and country music venues and intimidate us into submission because they themselves are cowards and imagine that this type of activity would make us give up instead of making us that much more angry and awake. I'm not perfect. You're not perfect. Trump's not perfect. But we're not out to create tyranny. We're not out to bankrupt free market. We believe in freedom and open, true societies. We oppose George Soros and his counterfeit of that. So that's the bottom line on what happened in Vegas, had major connections to Saudi Arabia and the very princes that have been arrested. That's the big news, who own Mandalay and were leftist Soros funders and who had a perfect venue to basically stand down a month ago. And the word was Trump was going to strike back against this. The fact that criminals in our own deep state were using deep state connections above ISIS and Al-Qaeda inside the Saudi government to carry out events like this to embarrass Trump and embarrass our economy and try to shut us down, as we reported in the last few weeks. But as you see, President Trump is striking back 10 times harder each time this happens. And know this, the Democratic Party, the globalists, and others are clearly behind the anti-Christian vitriol that's leading to church attacks and other events, and they're going to be dealt with as well. Hey, they start the fight, we finish it. This is the return of the Republic. This is the awakening of humanity. This is the InfoWar. I'm Alex Jones. If you're watching this transmission, ladies and gentlemen, the sleeping giant is on its feet again. It's awake, and we're all part of it. This is history happening right now.